coffee. Blankets all in weird positions. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Sitting In with Dom. And as always, I had to check if my microphone's working because this is just that low budget. Let me just make that go up a bit. There we go. Much better. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Sitting In with Dom. I've already missed a week. Yep, it's already happened. I said once a week for a year. Had a really busy week. Filmed a music video. First ever music video for my videography business that I do with my mate. We then also did some videography for it's kind of a strange venue. It's like a cafe during the day and then turns into like a bar at night. They had a party, so we did photography and videography for that. And then they wanted more stuff from us. It's just been busy with editing, and then obviously my 9 to 5 that I do, which isn't really a 9 to 5, but whatever, hospitality. So yeah, just been really busy with that, and my band's got a gig next week, so I've had practice for that. Still don't feel practiced enough, but whatever, it always goes fine. Don't want to rest on our laurels though to do it. But anyway, might as well get straight into the topic of this week because it's kind of to do with the fact that I missed a week already. It's about ADHD. Now, I feel like everybody these days has ADHD due to like TikTok and stuff, but like also not really. And I actually was diagnosed with ADD, which I thought was a different thing. So when everyone was talking about ADHD, I was like, I don't have that. But it turns out they're practically the same thing when I was much, much younger. And as a kid, same when I was told I was dyslexic, I was just like, no, I don't have that. I'm not taking medication. There's nothing wrong with me. Which I still respect to this day that I thought like that. But it is, I feel like it can be a blessing and a curse because I have these moments where I'm like fully locked in. Like on this, I was like, I'm locked in, like this is what I'm going to do. And I've had so many moments like that. Like I've had a beat channel, which I was really passionate about. I would wake up every day for like 3 months and make beats like at 6 a.m. so that I'd have one to go out the next day. And I posted a beat every day for at least 4 months. And like I don't know if everyone gets them, but I definitely get these like hyper lock-in moments on random hobbies. That's why I'm like a jack of all trade and a master of none type of thing. Like I know how to make beats, I know how to drum, like I know how to skateboard, I do running, I'm a decent runner, I'm not amazing, but like I think my 5k time, like fastest 5k is just under 22 minutes. I play football. I'm not terrible at football. I'm not the worst on the team, but I'm nowhere near the best on the team. I snowboard, I ski. I'm pretty good at both of them, but like nowhere near going pro. And I feel like that is the case with ADHD, is the fact I have these lock-in moments. Like on the way back from Australia, when I went to Australia, I taught myself how to solve a Rubik's Cube, and like it's just another random skill that I really wanted to have. And I guess people call it like hobby maxing these days, of like learning how to do stuff, but I've never thought of it like that because I always get quite disappointed in myself that when I look back over the years, I'm like, oh wow, there's so many things that like I've done and I just haven't taken it any further. But also I see the flip side to it, where some people say, oh well, you can look back and say that you can do all those things. Like for example, if I get invited to go play a round of golf, I can play golf. I'm not amazing, but I can play golf. Or if I get invited to football, I can play football. And it's all these things that like do actually just, I guess, add to your personality, but they don't, I guess, it's more of a personal thing, but I just don't think it helps take me higher in my personal life, like in my career life, which upsets me to like in my core, because I'm like, what if I had kept doing that, posting a beat every day on my beats channel, instead of doing it for 4 months, I'd like had that hyper focus for like 5 years. You never know, I'd be a full-time music producer. But it's another one of those things, like my brain hates the fact that I could be put in a box. Even with this, like imagine this became big, which I doubt it will, because like no one's watching, but I got put in a box, and of just being this guy who sits on a couch and talks. Like, I wouldn't mind it, obviously. I wouldn't mind any of these things happening. But I have other plans for this YouTube channel as well. Like, I want to do vlog, like, style content, and just show, like, my life, do, like, snowboarding, skiing stuff. Like, I was thinking the other day, like, my dream life, I know what it is. It's just so unattainable where I live. It would just be to like ski all the time, go to like the X Games events, go to like Red Bull events and all this stuff. I don't know if you've watched this channel called The Sickos, but they get invited out to all of these ski places. And I'd love that lifestyle. Like, that would be the dream to me. Obviously, though, again, I wouldn't want to be put in that box, because I want to also be invited to go to drumming conventions and go see how drums are made and go and play with my band and all this stuff. There's just too many things I want to do, and I feel like that is the downside to ADHD, is the fact that I will focus on one thing for a long period of time, but that long period is like 4 months. So in the grand scheme of things, is a short period of time, and then I'm on to the next thing. I'm like, I drop that, and I'm like, on to the next thing. Like, I can't remember, like, it must have been like, I do make a beat every now and then just to make sure I've still got it, but like, it will be every 2 months I sit down to make a beat now, and it's just for fun, or I make like a beat that the band can use to turn into a real song, and it's just good to keep my producing skills up there, I guess. But yeah, quick drink break. 1 second. Monster, if you want to sponsor me, I'd be lit too. Yeah, and like, I want to post TikTok videos every day, and I want to do this once a week. But then also, I want to practice for my band. I need to go to work, and then every now and then I get caught in like a doom scroll. Like, my phone, it kind of also leads back to how addictive phones have been, but also how essential they are to our society. Like, the other day I went down the rabbit hole of a dumb phone. I basically came to the conclusion that I shouldn't get a dumb phone. I need my phone to make TikTok content. I want to do something around social media, or like just content in general for my career, so I can't not have a good phone. But also, I've seen this phone. It's like it's called the Unhertz Jelly or something. It's like a tiny, like, honestly around that big, smartphone. Gets all the apps, has a decent camera, and I think I'd like to have that as my everyday phone, but then have my Apple phone just for content stuff. Like, I'd literally just have all the other apps locked apart from the camera, because I feel like when you see people post on Android on TikTok, it doesn't do as well. Like, the camera's weird, and like, you can tell that it's been uploaded from a Android. Anyway, going off topic, like, ADHD definitely has its like upsides. Like, when I was at uni, I would go to, once I figured out what I'm going to write about for my essays, I'd go to the library, and either in 1 or 2 days I'd sit in the library for hours on end with a Monster and like a meal deal, and I would bang out my essay in one go, pretty much, just like sitting there grinding it out, doing the research, getting the right stuff. And I always actually did pretty decent in my essays, and I do it miles ahead of the deadline time. So I was well, like, prepared for it. And that seemed like a superpower at uni, because the amount of people I knew who left it right to the last minute to hand something in, like they'd be literally like the day before still doing it, and I'd be like, I handed it in like 5 days before because I had it ready 3 weeks ago. And that's where I see it being a superpower. And I see like people talk about it online who, like like I said, I feel like lots of people do have it. I don't like, even people who aren't diagnosed, I reckon, have it, just due to like the amount that like content has fucked our brains and stuff like that. But I feel like some people use it as an excuse, but I think you've got to kind of change the narrative and just try and just reduce the cons of it so much that it's almost like a superpower. Like, for example, now I was struggling to find the motivation to do this, because that's what ADHD feels like. It's like you have like motivation and drive and discipline for a while, like up to 4 months, even 6 months sometimes, on like a thing. And I will just keep going back to the beats making thing, because it's a good place to like look at. But I've done it with loads of things like skateboarding, all these things. I get like hyper fixated. That's the best way to describe it. Hyper fixated on one thing for that period of time, and I'll become like pretty good at it. Like, I would say above intermediate, at high intermediate level at all of these things. And that's where I just leave it, and I'll just stay at high intermediate at lots of skills, but I'll never become the master of a skill. And I try and frame that as a good thing, but especially with the internet and how you can constantly compare yourself to what other people do, it's really hard to see that as a good thing sometimes. And especially when other people are doing better than you, and you're like, oh, if I just locked in and like posted 30 videos a day on TikTok, but I don't have 30 things to say on TikTok a day. And also I want to keep it real. I want to talk about things I want to talk about, and I want to post videos I'm proud of. Like, my drum content is stuff I'm most proud of, and they're like my highest viewed videos on TikTok anyway. But it's yeah, like, I don't know how people do transitions in podcasts. This is just like a waffle podcast because I'm on my own. But I will slightly move on to the fact that, well, some of you might be watching this, and I've tried to read before. I've been on it's another thing that I've been hyper fixated on at one point. It's like self-improvement YouTube channels and self-improvement lifestyle, and I think lots of it has benefits to your life, 100%. But also, I think there's a dark side to it that lots of people don't speak about, which is essentially that you beat yourself up about it mentally if you don't do these things, which maybe some people see as a positive. You're like, yeah, well, I haven't done the things that I said I'd do today. Like, I need to be better. But also, there are days where sometimes you just don't have the energy, you don't feel like it. And I think it should be normalized to say that's okay. Obviously, you can't do that every day, but there have to be days where you're just like, nah, you know what, say I'm having a lazy day. I'm going to not do the things I want to do because I feel ill or just tired, had a long day at work yesterday, and this is my only day off. And you shouldn't feel guilty about that, because I get like bad guilt about not having done things I wanted to do in the day. But because of the way my job works, I usually won't have 2 days off in a row. It's just all random because it's hospitality. And then I get my day off, which should be a day for relaxation, basically, or just doing what you want to do. But because I don't want to do hospitality full time and I want to try and make something else work, I feel like I'm constantly like, oh my God, I need to do this, all in one day because tomorrow I'm at work and I can't do it. And then my days off become so hectic. Like today I've done quite a lot of stuff. because you've also got to do like menial chores and stuff like that. You got to do errands, and then you got to try and fit all this stuff in. And also, if you're like me and you don't tell anybody that you do this stuff, like none of my friends, none of my family, like nobody knows that I do this podcast. This is like just something I don't want to tell people. On TikTok, people find out because they follow you and they see you post, but I just want to do this for myself. I don't want to tell people. And that means, for example, if my dad's like, "Oh, do you want to come to the range?" I don't want to say no to my dad. I want to say yeah, because I want to spend time with my dad and be fun. But then I'm like, oh, I really needed to film that podcast. I need to edit it. I need to get it up. I'm already like missing a week. I can't miss this week. But I can't tell him that. So I go to the range and then I'll come back and I'm like, I've got to find the time. I've got to have lunch. And then all of these things just accumulate. And all of a sudden you just don't have time to do what you want to do. But that's another thing. Like Molly May says, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Like, yeah, okay. It's hard though. It is really hard. But in other news, kind of moving off the ADHD topic, I'm thinking of making like a snowboard skiing holiday vlog when I go. I'm actually going twice. Lucky me. One for 3 days and one for like 5 days. So not long either time. But I want it to be kind of like, I don't know if you've ever watched any like of these like artsy snowboard videos or skate videos. I want to film it on this camera, but I'm scared that it's gonna like ruin it because it's really cold out there. So I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna have to invest in like one of those GoPros and maybe just try and put like some sort of filter on it to make it look like it was filmed on a camcorder. But from my experience, these camcorders, they like the emulations never beat the real thing. Like, I mean, you guys might be watching this and you might not even know that it was filmed on a camcorder and just think I put effects on, but this is being filmed on a handy cam. So I want to do that. Just make kind of like a little like montage, edit type vlog with like little bits of talking in between. But yeah, I'm going to Norway. I'm trying to learn Norwegian at the moment. Another like hyperfixation of mine at the moment, which has actually been going on for a while. But it shouldn't be a hyperfixation because I am a citizen of Norway. Like, I have dual nationality. And I understand like a lot of Norwegian, if not like I'm pretty fluent in understanding it, because my dad spoke to me growing up, but because I lived in England, I always just speak back to him in English. And so like recently I've been trying to snakke på norsk, snakke i norsk or whatever it is. Like, that's the thing, I'm still not great. The thing I find hardest about it is the accent. Like, I don't have a Norwegian accent, so I just need to try and get that going, and then the words should seem more easy to come out of my mouth. But I've been watching this girl on YouTube who gives great advice about learning a language, and I think it's another thing that's great for your brain. And linking back to the ADHD thing, like learning a language, obviously I have a huge advantage. I'm already kind of halfway there, but it still is becoming fluent in another language, like a language that I want it to become. I don't even think about it, I just speak. And if I can get to that level, then I actually will be multilingual, whatever they call it. And that's apparently so good for your brain. Like, it helps like reduce your chances of dementia and stuff like that. And I feel like once you've learned one language, you might just be like, why don't I just learn another one? Like, not that I really have much interest in learning another language right now. Like, for example, for me, at the moment, Norway is the only country I see a point in learning a language for, because I go there all the time. I already understand like nearly all of it. Why wouldn't I just learn the rest of it, if that makes sense? But yeah, coming up this week is the week before my skiing trip and my band's gig, so it's a big week coming up. Got lots of practice, I'm going to work lots. Hopefully I'll get another one of these done in advance so that I'm not missing another week, because I don't know if you can tell, I'm beating myself up about it a little bit, like we were talking about earlier, which I need to not do, but I get annoyed at myself. There's like a Gordon Ramsay clip of this guy, and he says, "Oh, like why are you so upset?" Like, and it's like, "Oh, because I've never followed through with anything in my life," and I don't want to be that guy. I want to be like, yeah, I saw something to the very end, and like, for me, I know I'll be like that with my band, and the only reason I wouldn't be is because of other people leaving and moving away. But even if I moved away, even if someone else moved away, I'd like to think that we would at least, maybe not even once a year, maybe once every 2 years, we'd all meet up somewhere and we'd have a jam and we'd play about a bit and we'd be like, oh, the band's still going. Maybe write something, head to the studio. Like, that doesn't have to, you don't have to see each other often these days due to like the internet and social media to actually keep a band alive. And I never want to leave my band. I love playing drums. I love being in my band. I wish we'd make it big, but none of us, we don't do enough on social media to make it blow up. I think we're quite a purist band in the sense, what we love doing the most is writing songs. It's not even gigging. We just like writing music and going to the studio, recording it. That's our favourite bit. As soon as it comes to releasing the music, doing all the promotion, doing social media, doing gigs, we're like, oh, yeah, I guess we've got to do that a little bit. So we do it a little bit. But then it always comes back to like doing a practice once a week where we mess around, write music. And that's, for me, I think that is the purest sense of being in a band. And that's why I love it. I don't care that no one's listening to it. We'll release it. It'll get no streams. We've got like 56 monthly listeners. But that doesn't matter to me, because one day I'll be able to like tell my kids, just like the same way my dad told me that he was in a band, but he doesn't have any music recorded. I can be like, yeah, I was in a band when I was younger, or still am in a band, and this is a song we did, and they'll listen to it, and I know our music is actually good. Like, obviously it's not popular, but I know it's good music. And so like, I had this dream once, such a random dream, that I was old and a kid that I don't even have made a TikTok being like, oh, just found my dad's like old band songs and posted it on TikTok, and it just like blew up, and then like our band's blown up through that, and we're not even together, we're just really old. It's such a weird dream, but I thought it was very funny. But yeah, I guess we're quite purist in that sense, and like, obviously you see these concerts in the snow, like I'm just thinking, oh, just combine my two dreams. Like, we play at these concerts and then we go skiing and snowboarding and do tricks. Like, this year I'm determined that I'm either going to get more than a 360, so I don't know what, more than like 540, that might be too big, or a tame dog, which is a front flip on a snowboard, or a back flip, because apparently it's snowing loads when we're going. I don't know, like I'm pretty athletic guy, like in the sense that I'm quick and like I'm fairly strong. Like, not that I look it, by the way. Someone asked me at work the other day if I go gym. I was devastated. I was like, yes, I do. Why would you ask me that? Does it not look like I do? But I'm not very athletic in like the flip sense. I always struggled on trampolines to do backflips, just because of like the mental aspect. I can do them, and at one point I was doing double front flips on the trampoline in my garden, like one of those garden trampolines, doing double front flips was crazy to think about. So I guess I can, but when I'm on like ground, it feels like my body just throws itself to the ground. If I try and do a flip, it doesn't let me jump upwards and then flip, because it doesn't want me to get hurt. And it's all a mental thing. I know. I just don't know how I'll ever get over it. I really hope that I get a tame dog when I'm in Norway, because you just know I'll be posting that clip all over Instagram. That'll be going absolutely everywhere. And I'm sure on the vlog that I'm planning on doing on this channel, you'll see it if I do it. But anyway, I feel like I'm rambling on a bit. I've kind of gone off the topic of ADHD pros and cons, but obviously to conclude, the cons are you very rarely focus on stuff. I feel like you waste a lot of time, especially on phones and social media. I feel like it's even worse for people with ADHD. It like drags them in and like really makes you struggle to focus. You struggle to focus on things you want to do, like reading and more productive things. But the pros are you get hyper focused on things. Like the one thing I can say I have properly followed through with is drums, and the only reason I don't think I'm advanced at drums and I always put myself in the higher intermediate column is definitely because of the internet. If the internet didn't exist and I didn't see other drummers who are crazy good, I'd say I'm an advanced drummer. And I think that could also be the case with all these other things that I'm like high intermediate at, but some of them I'm low intermediate at, don't get me wrong, but like I'm in intermediate at a lot of things, but very rarely do you go into advanced just because of this hyper lock-in. It lasts, I would say, max 6 months, maybe max actually a year, but never further than that. And then you get this guilt, which I don't know if it's an ADHD thing, but you get this guilt of, why didn't I follow through with that? Why, like, in 2 years' time, you're like, imagine if I'd carried on doing that for another 2 years. Maybe something would have happened. Like, and also, you can't always think like that, because craziness is like doing the same thing and hoping it works. So I guess I'm not crazy because I switch up what I'm doing, but also sometimes I feel like just pure determination, like the meme of the miner who turns back just before he hits diamonds. I think it's a bit like that, and I think that can actually sum it up quite nicely. But yeah, I think we'll end today's episode there. Hopefully I get another one out in time for next week. Hopefully I won't miss any more. I can't promise anything though. I know that's not a good thing for like my mentality, but I just can't, because some weeks just become unpredictably busy rather than other weeks that can sometimes be quite empty. And then hopefully I can have like some lock-in weeks where I get like 3 done just to backlog them a bit so I don't miss any. But yeah, I'm going to go. I've already played my drums this week, so I'm not going to play, well, today, sorry. So I'm not going to play my drums right after this. I'm actually going to go stretch because I've got football in a little bit. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.